You've seen chili crunch everywhere, I'm sure of it. But what if I told you it's missing a bold, smoky, Mexican twist to it? Today, I'm taking chili crunch to the next level with something that you might not know about, salsa macha. It is a Mexican version of the chili crunch or chili oil. And yes, please, David Chang, do not sue me in this one. Now, why do I say Dave Chang, please don't sue me? Well, this is a very hot topic at the time. Dave Chang just tried to give a cease and desist, I don't really know the exact term for it, to a handful of businesses, small businesses, even large businesses, to stop using the word chili crunch. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a big piece of culture, Asian culture. And you're gonna say you own it? No, that makes no sense. Anyways, the people that were on the forefront of this lawsuit, they're known as Mila. They make these amazing dumplings that you can find in stores nationwide now. And they're in my neighborhood. They're the ones that also make that chili crunch that Dave Chang tried to pull off the shelves. I'm gonna go over there today. I'm gonna see how they make their chili crunch. And then I'm gonna make my own version with a Mexican twist to it. Okay, Jen here. This is her spot.
Hello.
This is what it used to be called, but now it's called
Mila. Well, we started with a chili crisp, and the chili crisp itself actually had a lot of ingredients and was actually made by Tim, who's our operator over here. So he's our manager of the restaurant, and we're like, okay, we need sauces to go with this. One day he's like, I invented this chili crisp. What do you guys think? We're like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's, like very similar to other chili crisps, but pretty good. And then we kind of set out on this journey of what would be the ultimate chili crisp. And we tasted probably 20 of the ones that were in the market at the time. And then Brian, who's our R&D lead, and he was the chef here, he was like, I want to make the crunchiest one possible. How do I achieve that? And then we just tried all of the different chili crisps and chili crunches. And then we're like, okay, we think we can achieve this. None of these are that crunchy. Mm-hmm. And so then we set about looking at it in terms of like the garlic and the shallots and the chili flakes. Like, how do you make that the ultimate crispy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we got a real nice way of getting everything nice and crisp in here.
Okay, we are back, and I wanted to show you something really cool that I learned at work. By the way, this is all the things I'm going to be using today for this chili oil. To make it a little more Mexican inspired, I've got guajillo, chile de árbol, some peanuts, a little bit of coriander, of course, spices, whatnot, but let's get on to the garlic. Look, I'm not afraid to admit that I'll use this thing. This is actually the exact one we would use at work. This is a $1 mandolin from Daiso, Japanese dollar store. And if it works, it works. Like you saw, you can slice it with your knife, but that's gonna take forever if you're doing a large batch. So if you could find one of these little dollar guys, I'm telling you, this thing is amazing, just preloaded. But either way, try to slice it as thinly as possible. If you don't, just use a food processor and blitz it up. But this is not the trick that I'm talking about right now. There's a really neat trick for the garlic that I learned at work. Pot the garlic and then some whole milk. Yeah, it sounds disgusting, right? This stuff is going to make it to where the garlic isn't bitter, and it's also going to allow it for the garlic to crisp up very nicely. It's gonna help it to separate and not stick together. It won't be sticky and chewy. Like when you cook off garlic, it has like some sort of like chewy stickiness to your teeth still, and it has a bitterness. This is gonna get rid of all of that, and it's gonna make it beautifully crisp. I just wanna bring this up to a simmer and just let it simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes. We just wanna cook this through until it's nice, soft, translucent garlic. I'm just stirring it slowly, simmering for about 4 to 5 minutes. Once it's cooked through, let's just give it a little strain. And then the strain stuff, just goes onto a paper towel. Garlic and milk, I mean, basically like the ingredients you would put in some mashed potatoes, if you think about it. But alone, probably pretty disgusting. Anyways, the milk, here's my recommendation for the milk. Save it, cool it off in your fridge, and use it for when you want to make some mashed potatoes or maybe even an Alfredo sauce, something savory. Don't toss this. This is really good garlic milk. Yes, I know it sounds disgusting on its own, but use it for dishes. I'm telling you, don't throw away all this milk. It's a waste. Man, I remember we used to make so much of this stuff at one of the restaurants. It was at our Greek restaurant. So many dang garlic chips. Like, we had someone that was doing this all the time. So it wasn't always like the funnest task, but it's definitely worth it and it's a really cool technique. My oil of choice is gonna be peanut oil. This is a really nice neutral oil and it's also got good flavor. This is gonna be heated up with the garlic directly. I'm not tossing the garlic into hot oil. I'm bringing it up together so the garlic can cook more evenly. And it's also gonna allow that to steep and get a garlicky flavor for our chili oil. I'm also gonna be doing the same thing with the shallots. So this is just a great way to not only steep the oil with that initial shallot and garlic taste, but this is the way you cook your alliums off so they don't burn and they get crispy evenly through. Also, remember how I mentioned at work there was always somebody doing this? There was someone that was standing over the stovetop for these guys. It's very important that you don't wander off. These guys can burn extremely quick. They're gonna go from white to brown in a matter of seconds. So it'll probably take like 10-ish minutes, and then in a span of 30 seconds, it'll just go quick. So you gotta really watch this stuff. This is the standard that you see in every chili crisp, chili crunch, chili oil, Korean chili flake. So this is gonna be my base. Even though a Mexican salsa matcha doesn't typically have this, I want this because I love this and I crave this. But in addition to that, to make it Mexican salsa matcha, I'm adding chile guajillo and chile de árbol. Both of these, this one has a nice sweetness and smokiness to this one, and this one is straight up heat. This is spice. Then, roasted peanuts, coriander, some Szechuan for that little kick and nummingness, and then a little crunch from the black sesame seed. Something I learned from Chef Maria over at the Cantina Leña is always wear gloves when working with the chile guajillo. Her gloves were white, or those cream colored. And I remember she'd be peeling chile guajillo for a long time, like cases of them. And those gloves would turn like deep, dark maroon. So just keep in mind when working with these guys, it will stain your fingers. And if you're like me and you wear contact lenses, it is no bueno at the end of your day when you pull out your contact lenses working with chile guajillo all day. It's gonna burn so bad and you're gonna regret it. So just glove up, please. Just remember, no glove, no love. Szechuan peppercorn, coriander seed, roasted peanuts, then gochugaru, also known as Korean chili flake. Of course, it's essential to season your chili crunch with some salt just to bring out all the flavors and enhance that. You could add sugar if you'd like, and if you'd like also some MSG, also known as some yum yum powder. But this is the point where we're just kind of letting everything steep. We're letting the oil chill out before we add in all of our crunchy fried off ingredients so they don't burn. Okay, as you know, us Mexicans and Hispanics, we love citrusy, sour things. So I'm just doing, some citric acid in there for a touch of brightness and some pop. I already added some in there off camera, and then maple sugar for some sweetness. And just look at how beautiful this is. All these textures that we just built and layered together. Stunning, stunning salsa matcha or chili crunch, whatever you want to call it. Big pot of chili oil, right? You can share this with your friends this holiday season. Why not? Put it in a jar, put it in a container, share it with your family. It lasts a good while in the cupboard, in a container. And I'm telling you, this stuff slaps on anything. Pizza, tacos, soup dumplings, you name it. By the way, Mila is also found in most stores like Target and all that stuff around the country. So I think this would go extremely well on the Matamoros style tacos. Check out that video right here next. And also, just so you know, we have a little group where we discuss food and stuff on the Discord. You don't have to join it. You don't even have to subscribe if you want to. I'm just letting you know the link to the Discord is in the description if you want to go chat with all of us on there and talk food.